Hi, my name is Greg Carmichael, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about REACH, or Resources for Academic Achievement. I'm sure many of you have heard of REACH, but I'd like to go into a little more detail. I know a lot of you heard about us at orientation and welcome week, but a lot of information was given to you during those periods. And so I think it's important to review and go into a little more detail about what REACH does and how to access our services. Most of what we do is in the Belknap Academic Building. I'm sure you know of this building, and if you haven't had a class there this semester, then you probably will before your time at U of L is over. Who are we? Well, we are a 21st century learning center, and that means two things. First of all, we are able to take advantage of the technology that is in the Belknap Academic Building. It's a state-of-the-art building with technology that allows people to share their screens on their devices and use other video technology to make the most of a tutoring session. The other part of being a 21st Learning Center is that it's not a place where you just come in and get an answer to a question or come in at the last minute before a test to have a problem solved or that kind of thing. We do focus on long-term learning. So many people will use our services even if they don't have a question about something specific, or if they just want to make sure they continue to do well in their courses. So this is not about just students who aren't doing well in courses or who need a quick answer to a question or just need the answers to a homework question. That's not who we are. We want to help you learn and apply what you may have learned in one tutoring session to other classes. So we provide free academic support, mainly tutoring, but also seminars and computer support, and as well as some intervention courses. And like I said, we want to help our student body become independent, successful learners and not just focus on the immediate task at hand or getting answers to specific questions. REACH helps students do three things: connect to the university, transition successfully, and succeed in the classroom. We found that if you can make a connection to something on campus, whether that is a professor, a roommate, an advisor, a tutor, anything like that, that you're more likely to persist in your studies. So we want to help you make that connection. We're going to help you learn about academic expectations, employ better decision making, and then also know about the resources that are available, including REACH, but not just REACH, that can help you do better. There are counseling services, career services, there's the Writing Center, the Speaker Center. All those resources are available in addition to REACH, and we're here to help you find those, even if they aren't a part of REACH. And by doing that, we hope that you develop a successful network of peers, both in and out of your major. You'll find that when you come to a tutoring session, you may see students that you already know, people that are in your classes, maybe some of the tutors you have classes with, or you share a residence hall with them. So the idea is to get you around people who perform well academically so you can benefit from those relationships and learn what they do. Part of that is transitioning successfully. I know all of you knew that when you came to college that it was going to be different than high school. You knew that there was going to be more critical thinking involved, that maybe a test was going to be maybe half your grade, so there may be just a midterm and a final for a particular class, and that would be your whole grade. You wouldn't have as much opportunity for extra credit and homework. So you know that these differences were there, but until you actually get to college, it's hard to know exactly how those are going to affect you or how you're going to deal with those changes. There are other things like how much studying time you need to do. Maybe some of you were very good students in high school and didn't need to do a lot of studying, but now you find that you need to do that in college. Class sizes can be a lot larger than maybe what you're used to, and even the campus environment. There's a lot more diversity here, perhaps, than what you were used to. And when you may have gone to a high school where everything is in one building, now you find that there are many buildings you may have to go to throughout the course of a day to navigate the college experience. We have some intervention courses. I won't go into too much detail about that here, but these are to help students get up to speed on reading and math in particular. If you are a part of these programs, you already know it, so I won't spend much time here on that. But we do like to help students be ready for the rigors of college even before they get here. The other thing that we have are academic series. And these are online gamified seminars, so they're fun to do. They're not just reading a PowerPoint or reading a PDF and then answering some questions. These are an award-winning program where, like I said, it's gamified, so it's a lot of fun to do. And these subjects typically cover areas that don't apply directly to content in any given class. So for instance, you may not necessarily be struggling with understanding your chemistry or your history or your math class, but you might just have a hard time with time management or reading textbooks or taking notes. Or how about test anxiety? I'm sure many of you know the material, but then when test time comes, you get nervous and you don't do well on the test. So we can help you with this. All freshmen have been enrolled in these academic series courses, so you can go to reach.louisville.edu and find the academic series and automatically start either one of these. And I said courses, but they're really more hour-long seminars. They should take you about an hour, and they'll go over those topics in greater detail and help you learn how to make the most of them. Of course, the reason you're all here is to succeed in the classroom. So we have a variety of different services that will help you do that. We have peer-led tutoring and peer-assisted learning by certified staff. So these tutors are peers, and they've taken the classes and done well on them recently, but they've also been trained to be tutors. And they're trained under the guidelines of CRLA, the College Reading and Learning Association. So know that we have strict guidelines for making sure that these students know how to tutor, not just know the content that you have questions about. Like I said before, we want you to be active participants in your learning and not just getting simple answers to questions or coming in a few minutes before the test and trying to get a review. We want you to take what you've learned in one tutoring session and apply it to your other classes. We'll help you with study strategies and some of the things that are actually covered in the academic series. But like I said, you can go there for specific and more detailed information on topics like time management, study strategies, reading textbooks, and taking notes. We found that students are better prepared for their classes and their exams, and a byproduct of that is that they have more self-confidence. The first of our centers is the Computer Resource Center. And this is not located in the BAB, the Belknap Academic Building. It's located in Ekstrom Library. So that's close to the business school, which should be convenient for you. We do drop-in assistance, which means you don't need an appointment. You can simply show up, sign in, and sit down and start work on something, and then raise your hand when you have a question. And that's for general computer questions. So you might have a question about how to make a good PowerPoint, or how to use Excel, or maybe even some of the campus software at U of L like Blackboard or ULink or CardMail. We also specialize in business computer programming courses, or CIS. And I believe all of you will have to take at least one CIS course. So you can come in and get help without an appointment for those things. We also have scheduled study sessions for select classes like accounting, finance, marketing. Those courses, we ask that you make an appointment, so we make sure we have someone there who can help you. And this semester, and perhaps in following semesters too, we'll be doing both in-person and online tutoring for all of our services, not just the Computer Resource Center. If you want to come in and use us face-to-face, just make sure that you have your mask and know that we do have limitations on how many people we can have in the center at any one time. So if you don't have a mask or the center is already full, or you just prefer online tutoring, you can go to our website and find the link to schedule those appointments. We also do it for drop-in. So you don't need an appointment. You just go to our website and drop in online using Microsoft Teams. We did a renovation in the summer of 2019. So things are new and we have new computers over there. So it's a nice place to work. For Speed School students, and I know you're not Speed School students, but we do have the Academic and Leadership Center. So that's located in the JB Speed building, and we help with speed courses and speed engineering courses in particular. The math part of speed we do over in the Math Resource Center, and I'll get to that in a minute. So if you have some friends that are engineering students, you can let them know that the Academic and Leadership Center is available to them in the engineering school. The Math Resource Center is perhaps our most popular center because so many people struggle with math. If you feel like you struggle with math, don't worry, you're not alone. About half the university struggles with math. This is a drop-in center, so you don't need an appointment for any of these services. We do online and in-person drop-in for pre-algebra all the way through Calculus 2, and this is also where we help with the engineering calculus courses. We also have a mini computer lab for some of the math software you might run into, particularly if you're a math major. One thing I recommend about the math major and the best way to use it is to simply come in and do your homework there. Like I said before, you don't need to have a question to use our services. All you need to do is be willing to come in, open your book and get started on your homework. And then when you have a question, you can raise your hand and someone will help you. This is a great way to get your homework done faster and better because you have someone there who knows math to help you instead of being in your residence hall late at night and not understanding what you're doing and having no one to help. So I definitely recommend coming in and just doing your math in the Math Resource Center. If you don't have a mask or it's too crowded in there, it's no problem just to do an online drop-in session. You can use it the same way. Just drop in on Teams and ask a question when you have it. Our Learning Resource Center covers all other subjects. We tutor most 100, 200 level courses and some 300 level. Of course, we tutor those courses that students tend to have questions in, so we don't do every department or every subject. But I think you'll find that if you have a question, most likely, if you have a question in one of your classes, most likely we'll have a tutor for that course, especially if it's a 100 or 200 level course. These are small group sessions, 1 to 5 students. And we set up appointments for these because there are so many different subjects like science, the hard sciences, the social sciences, and then we also do history and languages, anthropology, psychology, biology, chemistry, that kind of thing. So you can come in with an appointment and make sure that we have somebody there. That's why it's not a drop-in center. Appointments are, again, online or in person. We also have extended tutoring time available for Disability Resource Center students. So if you have a documented disability through the Disability Resource Center, we can make those accommodations. We don't guarantee individual appointments for non-DRC students, but often you'll find there may be only 1 or 2 people in your tutoring session, or you might be the only person in there. So very often it'll be a lot like individual tutoring. You may not like the idea of a study group or of a group tutoring session, but I encourage you to try it out. You'll find that you'll meet students from your classes in there, and that they'll have questions that perhaps you didn't even think of, and they can help you understand the material and you can help them. So before you decide that you don't want to do group tutoring, give it a try because I think that you'll like it. Many of you may have had a peer assistant learning leader come into your class and announce that they are going to offer support for your classes. These typically are with classes that have a lot of people that need help, like the hard sciences such as biology, chemistry, physics, and also psychology. Those are the 4 we're offering this semester. These PAL leaders, as we call them, work directly with a course section. So it's not just getting help in the general topic of, say, Biology 240, who may have a few different professors. They actually work with a specific professor. And this is great because they know the content that the professor will emphasize and also when the tests are. So they'll do test reviews, which are always very well attended. So watch for your PAL leader. If you're not sure, if you have one, let us know and we can see if your section does have a PAL leader. You can also ask your professor. But like I said, for most of the 100, 200 level, biology, chemistry, physics, and psychology this year, we have done economics in the past, but you'll find that there very often is a PAL leader for your section. I know it seems early to even think about it, but graduate school may not be far off for many of you. Those of you who are looking to go to a professional school or graduate school will find that you'll have to take an admission test. This is called the GRE, the GMAT, the LSAT, MCAT, and so on. And like I said, these are for general grad school admission, for business school, medical school, law school, and those kinds of things. So by attending one of these workshops, you won't be fully prepared for the test, but you will have a better idea of how to prepare for the test. We're going to help you get started. And it's sponsored by the Princeton Review, who has a long history of successful graduate test prep. And by being part of this, you'll be given one full-length practice test for free. So, like I said, it seems like a long way off, but it'll be here before you know it. So take advantage of graduate test prep workshops when the time comes. So I told you a lot about REACH, but you may be wondering how it works or if it works. We find that students who use REACH earn higher course grades and GPAs than those students who do not. We've done the research, we've run the numbers, and done some comparisons, and we found that is the case every semester. We usually serve between 5,000 and 6,000 unique students annually. So that means if one person comes 10 times to REACH, that only counts as one. So this is over a third of the student body who is voluntarily coming to tutoring. We provide over 80,000 service hours annually, almost over 14 per student on average. And in 2017, and we served over 78% of that cohort. And the numbers are typically the same every year. We're running between 70 and 80% of the freshman class will use our services. So what does that mean? It means that REACH is for everyone. REACH is not just for people who are really struggling in their classes, though it is certainly for them. But REACH is also for honors and scholarship students who want to make sure they keep their honors and scholarship status, who want to get A's and not B's because they want to get into competitive graduate schools. So it's important to understand that we're here to help you do well, whatever that means to you. If you have a B in a course and you want to get an A, come and see us. If you have an A and you want to make sure you keep it, come and see us. But also, if you're struggling, come and see us. We'll help you. And success is how you define it. Maybe you just need a C to get through a course. That's okay. That's up to you. we're here to help you achieve whatever goals you choose. Like I said, on average, students earn higher GPAs, almost a half a grade point average higher than students who don't use our services. Peer assisted learning participants, and that's again where I said that you'll have a leader that works with a specific professor in those challenging courses like biology and chemistry. Well, those students typically earn a half to a full letter grade higher than people enrolled in those classes who don't use our services. For the Math Resource Center and the Learning Resource Center, 94 and 95% of students agree that it is helpful and has improved their academic skills. We've won a lot of awards and accolades, and this isn't to brag just so much as to make sure that you know that we are committed to excellence in tutoring, that we're not just taking people who have done well in the courses and letting them tutor students, that we have a strict selection process, an interview process, and then they go through that CRLA training I was telling you about. We've won the National Tutor of the Year award several times. Our program has won Program of the Year, and we've also won technology awards. In fact, most recently, which we didn't have on this presentation, we won a website award. We came in first place for our website. So I hope you get a chance to visit that. And best of all REACH services and programs are free to enrolled U of L students. So there's really no excuse not to use this. Like I said, even if you just want to make sure that you maintain your high grades, come on in and use this. The other thing is because it's peer tutoring, we're going to need tutors. So those of you who do well in your classes, we'd love to have you apply to be a tutor. You may find that you'll use us for tutoring in one class and then turn around and tutor in another. We just need you to have a 3.0 overall GPA and have A's, mostly A's, in the courses that you want to tutor. You can learn more about our services at reach.louisville.edu. You can call our information line at 852-6706. And our executive director is Dr. Jeff Bailey. He's a great guy. He loves to talk to students and will be happy to answer any of your questions. My name is Greg Carmichael, and my email is greg, Greg.Carmichael, Carmichael, at louisville.edu. So feel free to send me an email anytime if you have any questions. But I encourage you to look at our website and see what kind of things we offer, most of which I talked about here. But don't worry if it's at all confusing, because we do offer a lot of services. Just contact us and we'll get you in the right direction. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great semester here at U of L.